I really didn't want to make a video today, but every time I turn my head, there's like another what the fuck moment, and another what the fuck moment, and another after another after another. Okay, a new Mac OS 10 is coming out, Mountain Lion. Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, he's gonna yell and scream. Technically, I'm not. Essentially, Mountain Lion is nothing more than just Lion, just with added a few more apps and a little bit more features like Facebook and all that other crap. Of course, I don't really like Facebook. Never did like MySpace because they were easily hacked and their information was passed around, and you really didn't have much of a say in it. Of course, I do like the whole messenger thing that now you can message to iPhone and iPod Touch and all that stuff with just from your computer. I'll plot Apple on that. That's a good idea. And putting a reminder on there, yeah, that's a good idea too. But then all of a sudden I got to the last slider which says Game Center on Mac. Okay, great. First of all, are there any real games on Mac? Answer: no. Why? Well, Apple's gaming console was a piece of shit. Let's just look up Pippin, Apple Pippin. But there's more to it. Let's face facts here. Apple is now putting a Game Center on there, and essentially all they're doing is just copying Microsoft. Because you know Microsoft's got that whole Windows Live and the Achievement Center and all that other shit on Windows. And Apple's just making up their own version. Ooh, Apple's making up their own shitty version. I'm going to be the one to come out here and say this, but first of all, Game Center on the iPod Touch and iOS devices suck badly. And yeah, I know Microsoft's got their own phone system, which is a pretty much a joke at this point. And yes, I've seen the sales of the Windows phones, and it's pathetic. Seriously. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of people down there in the comments saying, "You don't have Windows. Microsoft is the greatest company of all time. They made the Xbox. Long live Xbox Live." Sorry, dude. Microsoft Mobile is a fucking disaster. That's probably why they're releasing apps on the iPhone now. I mean, the iOS and Androids. But anyways, this whole idea of Apple concentrating more on Game Center. Okay, first and foremost, Apple doesn't have a console right now. They had a console back then, and it was a piece of shit. It's not the worstest console, may say. Unfortunately, Mattel created the worstest console ever made, and I'm not talking about the ColecoVision. I'm talking about the HyperScan console. Insanely one of the worst fucking consoles ever created. And this also leads into a couple of videos where I guess Sam and Blackmon were busy saying that Japanese consoles are dying and the American consoles are rising or some bullshit like that. Um, well, there's a small little hitch in that, and I was planning on saying this sooner or later. The United States only has one console company right now, and all the other U.S. console making companies have flopped, crashed, or completely burned. Last one being Mattel's little HyperScan. I thought it was the Atari Jaguar, but then I heard about the HyperScan, and oh shit, that was bad. Seriously, one of the worst. And yes, I mean, we have both Sony and Nintendo, which are both Japanese based companies. And seriously, if they both fall, that just leaves Microsoft's Xbox. And unfortunately, that will lead into, and I guess Black Bond or Sam didn't realize what they were saying, but if those two companies fall, that leaves Microsoft in another little monopoly trial. Seriously, no joke. And of course, televisions are starting to run apps and internet on them, but unfortunately, they just use basic remote controls, which is reminiscent of the CDI controller, which is, well, unusable. And that's the main problem with these new smart TVs, and all the apps that they have on there, is that when they get into the whole gameplay functions, a remote control, just like the Philips CDI, which also flopped, by the way, is about as usable as, oh, I don't know, trying to hammer in a nail with a squeaky toy. But as I said, if the consoles go away, Microsoft gets put into this nice little area called a monopoly, and of course, it will turn well from Microsoft. I know, but Microsoft got over their last monopoly trial. They were found guilty, and unfortunately, they just got a slap on the wrist. And they're found again, they could actually end up having their company broken up, and pretty badly. And it could destroy their whole thing again. And mostly, as you could tell, the last monopoly was over the whole Office program. And of course, now there's an open source app called LibreOffice, which I got the newest version, and it's actually pretty fucking good. But back to the whole Game Center on Mac thing. Apple doesn't have a gaming console. I know what you're gonna all, and I'm getting everybody saying, well, Apple doesn't have a gaming console. They got Apple TV. Have you seen the Apple TV? It's a fucking joke. It's a practical fucking joke, and I don't know why Apple keeps thinking that this thing is gonna be so great. I don't even know why Gabe Newell of Valve thinks that the Apple TV is gonna bring a whole new line of gaming, because it's a fucking joke. Apple TV isn't worth anybody's fucking time. All it does is just stream what's on your iPod Touch onto the television. Big fucking whoop de doo. Well, on your iPhone as well as your iPad. But mostly it just does it with the iPad or the iPhone. And actually doesn't work with the iPod Touch for some reason. And essentially, you're still playing the same fucking game, and you're playing it on your iPod. You're just showing everybody else what you're doing. And what the fuck is that going to prove? At least Nintendo, when their Wii U controller came out, they at least, allowed you to use both the TV and the controller within sequence of each other. All you're doing is with the Apple TV is just showing what you're doing on your iOS device onto a television screen. That's it. With like the Wii U, at least you're seeing a game on your TV and a map on your touchscreen. And at least you can get something out of that. So, and it's basically like I said before. I mean, unless Apple plans to bring out an actual gaming device with a DVD or Blu-ray playback, most likely DVD, and hell, it worked for Microsoft when they were just strictly DVD, then they have something. But if they come up with a console that's digital download only, they won't survive. They're not. I mean, we're still in the precipice of, like I said, we're still in the precipice of having our consoles, go from, digital drive, physical media to digital downloads, and we're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. But, Apple really has nothing in the gaming community at all, which leads me to basically say to Apple about their putting their Game Center on the Mac OS. And this ain't a complaint, but this is more like, what the fuck are you thinking?